Hey everybody, Jimmy with Unleashed Omaha. I'm going to do a little video today. I've been doing a lot of free shaping lately. Now free shaping is a really great way to increase the bond and relationship with your dog because you're letting them figure out the puzzle. So with Nico and Dakota, we do this every day for their food. Lay down. We do this for their food daily, so I'm simply looking for the dog to figure me out. Now, in the beginning of this, I do kind of help the dog out a little bit, especially if they're not very independent and they don't really know how to figure out the game. So at the first, I'm going to kind of help them out a little bit, but once they start to understand it, I'm going to just shut my mouth and let the dog figure out the puzzle, okay? So the puzzle today is simply to get Duchess onto the box, okay? And I also want, eventually I want her to down on the box, okay? So I'm gonna kind of mark the intermediate steps in between, and you'll see me just getting her ready to go, and I'm gonna mark her. What I'd like to do in the beginning is I mark a lot at the source of the reward, because a lot of the times the dog will go, where was I last given food at? Where was I last rewarded at? And then they go back to that place, and you can mark that step again. You can mark it even when they walk toward it. So baby steps, even little tiny, even just turning away from you and walking toward the object is markable. And you start kind of narrowing it down and then giving the dog a little less help, and then the dog will eventually kind of take a few more steps toward the object, and you can mark that, or you can wait. If the dog gets confused, mark the steps in between. You don't want your dog kind of getting lost in contrast. You just want them to start building that trying new things relationship with you, trying to figure you out. It gives a really nice picture for the dog, and it starts to free that dog up into trying different things to get them their reward. So without further ado, this is me and Duchess going to do a little free shaping onto the place command, okay? Duchess, you ready? So in the beginning, I have Duchess on a long line just because I don't want her to leave the training area. But in the beginning, I always have a leash on my dog. So Duchess, yes. So I'll mark her a couple times to get the work done. Okay. Yes. Just get her in that working mode. Yes. So that right there would be an opportunity for me to mark a sit free shaping. Yes. So once she gets into that sit, I allow her to come and feed, and then I stop. Yes. She repeats the action. So I repeat the reward. Okay. Yes. Good. Now this is great because the dog starts to realize they're producing the reward by their actions. I'm doing nothing. Yes. It's their actions that are driving the reward from me. Okay? I'm going to wait a little bit and see if she does something different. It's a really great way to capture different goofy things that your dogs do. She's getting a little frustrated. She's not sure why she's not getting rewarded. She's giving me great focus. Yes. So right there, I just free shaped a down command. Okay? In the beginning, just wait the dog out. Or you can do what I like to do, is I will tell them YES, and then I will give them their reward in the position that I want them to get on. So if I was trying to get Duchess to go to her place, I would say yes. And I would get her up on this, feed her a couple times, good job. Good job, I feed her up here, and then I get off. Yes, and I can mark when she's up there, because now she's where I want her. She's up on the place. So now I stop. Yes, she goes right back to the place that she last got rewarded. she went to the place that she got her marker word. So no marker. Sit's not what you're getting rewarded for right now. Yes. Good. So I want my dog to start to figure out, what am I getting rewarded for? What's the puzzle today? Am I getting rewarded for sits, for downs, for stands, for coming, for placing, whatever? So I'll just wait her out, right? Now she starts to go, Now if she gets stuck, I'll help her out a little bit, but I really want to help as minimally as possible here. I just want her to figure out the game, figure out what's going to get you the reward. Great focus. If I want to reward focus, I would say YES right there. If I want to reward down, I would do that right there. You'll see this dog is starting to filter through behaviors to get her reward. Well, sit's not doing it. Let's try down. Down's not doing it. Focus isn't doing it. And if your dog gets stuck for a really long time, I might mark them. Yes. And I'll bring them back to what I actually want them to do for their reward. Now she's up there, now I can say, yes. I can pull her off, or I can reward her on the spot. Yes. So she gets back up on the spot. I want to make this spot a spot where she anticipates her reward is going to come from, okay? Anticipation can be a dog trainer's or a dog owner's worst nightmare, or it can also be your best friend in the whole world. When the dog doesn't understand what they're supposed to do, and there's no confidence, and the dog has no rehearsals of anything, a lot of the times anticipation can produce aggression or fear or anxiety. The dog does not know how to handle the situation. So like dog on dog situation, the dog anticipates the dog is going to be aggressive with them or mean to them, so they make the first move. Or the dog is super anxious, doesn't know how to handle the situation, and anticipating that they might be getting bit, they're frustrated, they go bam, and you get a bite. Or fear, I'm worried, I don't like this, and bam, now you have a dog who's rehearsing poor behaviors versus the ones that you want. So anticipation can be a really good thing. If I want to let my dog know that you're going to get rewarded on this spot a lot. Yes. Yes. And I'll let my dog know that they can come off when they get on the spot, off the spot. When I say yes, it means come to me and get your food. Now I stop, I shut up. So no reward marker. No reward marker. I'm not going to reward her for that right now. That's not what I want. I want her on her spot. So I want her to figure out, how do I get my reward? Not by doing that. Not right now anyway. Now if you're working on sits and downs, you reward that. You're working on focus, you reward when they look at you. But you want the dog to figure out the puzzle. And in the beginning, I will help them out a little bit. So if I move closer to this, sometimes I'll reward at the source. I say if I want to start teaching distance, I'll say yes, and I'll throw it at the source. And when they're close to it, yes, I'll mark it again, and I'll throw it toward the source. This spot gets me food. What the hell's with this spot that gets me all, yes, gets me all this food? Nope. So Duchess is a little apprehensive. I want to just free her up. So I'm going to rehearse a lot of, yes, the rewarding up here. I want to make this spot super valuable. So dogs who have like fear issues or anxiety issues with like kennels or dogs or whatever, you're going to have to work at that range where your dog isn't freaking out, or your dog isn't shutting down. Yes. She's allowed to get off. Okay, stop paying attention to her. This is great. This is what you like to see. She's very nervous around a new situation. I want to free this dog up. Yes, so even moving toward that, I can come up here and I can reward her on the place. If she moves towards the object that I'm trying to get her on, rewardable moment. Yes. 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 Come on. Yes. So I want her to know that yes is a come to me and get your reward. So no reward. Sometimes I might just do 7 or 8 repetitions and that's it. But I'm going to get really freaking excited when she gets closer to that mark. Nope. Nope. Duchess, nope. Good. So if I had a dog who was nervous of this object, I would tell her yes. I'd allow her to get up on it and I'd feed her here. So it's kind of tricking her, but I'm also at the same time, I'm making the spot a valuable spot. Yes. And the reason that I reward her on the spot is that way I can set up my marker system to mark her on that spot again. So she's on the spot that I want her on already, then I don't have this big conflict on trying to get her to that spot because she's already there. So a lot of times I'll just start off the game by saying yes, and I'll bring that dog to the position that I'm trying to get them in, or I'll throw a piece of food at the spot that I'm trying to get my dog to go to. So if I want my dog to go near a bench or near their kennel, because my dog has kennel anxiety, I will start the game yes, I'll feed my dog a couple times, yes, feed my dog a couple times, yes, chuck my food over by the kennel. The dog goes over towards the kennel to get the food. I mark it yes again. The dog comes over to me, gets the reward. Okay? I can say yes again and mark it and chuck my food over by the kennel. And when they're at the kennel, by the kennel, I say yes again. And then I start letting the dog figure out, every time I'm close to this kennel, I get the magic word. What is up with that? And then they repeat the action. And now the dog is figuring it out for themselves. Yes. Good. So that was a nice long duration stay. You know? It's a great way. And I'm telling you, you want to free up a nervous dog. You want to get a dog who's not very sure about themselves. Starting this game. Now this is a moment right here where I could mark this all day long. Because she's going towards the crate or going toward the placing object, and then you'll start to see after about 30-40 repetitions of being rewarded on that spot, now the dog's like, oh, I know this spot derives food. I get up on the spot, I get food. I get up on the spot, I get food. Then you have a dog who's actively going to the spot because they know it produces reward. Then you name it. The dog goes to the spot, they're on the spot, I say place, yes. Come off and get the reward. The dog goes back to the spot, I say place, yes. Same thing for any of your commands. If you're doing sit, your dog is sitting nicely, your dog knows that sitting gets them food, I say sit, yes. Dog sits, sit, yes. Dog sits, sit, yes. And then when I see my dog is about to go into a sit, I can also be like, sit, the dog sits, yes, boom, explode into toy, explode into food. And now I have this beautiful picture and the dog really starts to understand, yes, but I will build a lot of hope, build a lot of positivity with those particular commands until my dog will literally start filtering through, sits, down, stand, place. And the cool thing about free shaping is your dog might offer you something that you have never seen. A yawn, or a stretch, or they'll put their feet up on something, or they'll bark at you, or they'll, They'll get up on something that they're normally not getting up on, or maybe they'll lift their leg, or they'll put their hand over. Tons of different things. That's what's so cool about free shaping is you pick the moment that you like. And then the dog goes, hey, wait a second. What was I just doing there? They go through the motions again. They do it again. Or maybe they just do something that's getting them close to repeating that action. I'll mark the little successes in their life. Especially for those really scared dogs. Especially for those dogs who are not very able to build confidence in the exercise. And then when the dog's like, I've got this, no problem. Then we start making it a little harder. And maybe now I want you to go to your box and sit until I reward you. Or go to your box and down. Or go to your box and sit pretty. And if I want to help them out in the beginning, I can get them there by giving them lots of rewards in the final position that I want them. And then they start going, oh, I know I get a lot of rewards here. Let me repeat that, see what happens. Boom! Now you have a dog who's going there with power, with confidence, that runs over to the spot, and then you can start adding conflict. Now I can like hold them back a little bit in a harness. They're like, damn it, I'm trying to get to that spot. I know that produces food. I build drive. And then I add conflict later on with people, toys, things like that. But my dog must know. You have to convince that dog that it is your actions that produce the reward. So the quicker you get to that spot, bam, food comes out. The faster you get to that spot, we go into play. We do a little play session. Now you have a dog who's like feeling powerful, feeling good. Now you have a dog who's feeling powerful for the exercise. Awesome. Now I can start adding my conflict because my dog will work through a little bit of stress because they know that their reward only comes out when they're on that spot. So now we have a dog. Oh, please. Come on. Now we have a dog that can start working through a little bit of stress in their life because they know that the only spot that reward is going to pop out is when they're on the spot, when they're on place. Whether it's around dogs, food, toys, kids, whatever, the only time that reward's going to come out is when they're on the spot. Now we have a dog who's working through conflict to get their reward. That's what free shaping is so great. So, hope you guys like this exercise. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, let me know. More than happy to answer. Thanks, guys.